On Global TV News Express, NIS rescues 10 victims of human trafficking in Jigawa. SON trains MSMEs on standard for homegrown economic agenda. Plus, BBN winner Ilibaye back Super Eagles to win the AFCON 2023. Hello and welcome to all our viewers around the world and at home at Global TV News Express live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Fauzi Lukman. President Bola Tinubu on Friday approved the appointment of new chief executive officers of some agencies and parastatals under the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. In a statement released on Friday by the President's Special Advisor, Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngilali, the appointment is in line with Tinubu's resolve to base Nigeria's economy revival on the foundation of trade expansion through small, medium and large-scale industry facilitations in the country. The appointment takes effect immediately. Those appointed are Hussaini Ishaq Magaji, SAN, Corporate Affairs Commission, Afis Ogun Oluwatoyin, Industrial Training Fund, Kamar Birkin, National Sugar Development Council, Olufemi Ogunyemi, Nigerian Export Processing Zone Authority, and Noinye Ayeni, Nigeria Export Promotion Council, amongst others. The statement added that President Bola Tinubu expects all new appointees in this critical sector to ultimately deliver in accordance with the new key performance indicating benchmark as established by the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. President Bola Tinubu has pulled the Federal Capital Territory Administration (FCTA) out of the Treasury Single Account (TCA), effectively paving way for the Nyesom Wike-led FCT to utilize the territory's internal generated revenue (IGR) for the development of the nation's capital. At a news conference on Friday in Abuja, Wike also disclosed that the president has approved the creation of the FCT Civil Service Commission to allow for staff's career progression. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has pledged President Bola Tinubu's commitment to restoring the country's greatness. She made this known at the State House when she received the Ambassador of United Arab Emirates, UAE, to Nigeria, Salim Said Al-Shamsi. Subarat Usman has the details.
Senator Oluremi Tinubu commended the UAE for the confidence and likeness they had expressed towards Nigeria and her citizens. The First Lady also thanked the Chief Executive Officer of the UAE NGO, Noor Foundation, Dr. Manal Tariam, for all it had done for the country, especially in its intervention in Katsina State in the last 4 years.
We thank God for the new discovery, new innovations that, the world is really embracing, which has really helped a lot of people. Thank you so much for the school high screening for students. It's very, very important. Like you said, with all that, it will definitely affect productivity and also, economic impact, which you described. And sight is very, very crucial for anyone. And I pray that, the distribution of glasses, I think you'll do that in Lagos as well, So I can just thank you for all that Noor Foundation has brought to Nigeria. And we look forward to more states being impacted by, your gesture.
Earlier, Tariam says his organization, through the provision of free cataract treatment and other eye-related surgeries, treated a lot of people with eye problems in Katsina State.
We've also measured the academic performance of the students and the teachers. And one of the results that we found out that there's an increase in the academic attention of the students in class that increased to around 85%, which means that a simple treatment of refractive error by providing eyeglasses to students kept them in school and make them academically better. And this year, the program comes to an end. When we say it comes to an end, that doesn't mean that we're going to close it down, no. But we're going to hand it over to the state government. And we're going to work with them by providing free surgeries to those who need it. But everything else is going to continue under the governance of the state government.
Recalled about the First Lady and her guest acknowledged that the visit was very significant. Sobora Usman, Global Television News.
Saudi Arabia says it is committed to strengthening ties with Nigeria ahead of the Saudi Africa Summit, which is scheduled to hold in November 2023. The country's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Adel Al-Jubeir, says they look forward to hosting President Bola Tinubu at the summit. The Saudi minister added that he paid a visit to President Tinubu to convey the greetings of the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia and the Prime Minister of the Kingdom, Mohammed bin Salam. Uhi Agumofugbi has the rest of the story.
Envoy to Nigeria, while briefing State House correspondents after meeting with the Nigerian leader, said Arabia is cooperating closely to deal with the several challenges such as climate change, issues around sustainable development goals, and combating extremism and terrorism.
Adel Al-Jubeir, I had the great honor and the pleasure of visiting with the President of Nigeria to convey to him the greetings of His Majesty, the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, and His Royal Highness Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz. We discussed bilateral relations. Our two countries have enjoyed historic and very positive ties. We cooperate in virtually all areas. We have very strong people-to-people ties. We are members of OPEC, and we are also members of the Organization of Islamic Countries. We have very strong tribal and familial ties, and we believe that we are very cooperating very closely.
Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, said Nigeria seeks to strengthen ties with Saudi Arabia in the area of hydrocarbon production and energy transition.
As a special envoy of His Royal Highness, the King and the Crown Prince, to discuss matters of bilateral relations between Saudi Arabia and Nigeria. And as you know, we've had very, very good and close relations with Saudi Arabia going back decades. So this further strengthens the relationship. There are several areas that were discussed. We're both hydrocarbon producers. We're both responsible hydrocarbon producers. We're looking at the future. We're looking at energy transition. The minister actually also pointed out that there was a need to do more in terms of our cultural relations, and we have a lot in common.
Uyi Agbomofuegbe, reporting for Global TV News.
Abayomi Arabambi, the National Publicity Secretary of the Lamidi Apapa-led faction of the Labour Party LP, has alleged some discrepancies in the academic certificate of the presidential candidate, Peter Obi. Addressing a press conference today in Abuja, the LP National Speaker alleged that Obi had different names on his credentials from the University of Nigeria in Nsukka and the National Youth Service Corps Discharge Certificate. Keke Lomo Okere has more stories.
The National Publicity Secretary, Labour Party, alleged that the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Gregory, has been alleged to be using his senior brother's certificate and name all this while. He described the act as dubious, deceitful, and misleading to Nigerians. Arabambi further condemned the action of the former Labour Party presidential candidate on the World Press Conference on Wednesday, October 11, 2023, where he accused the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, of using fake identity. He says his action has levied war against the President of Nigeria. He further described the action as treasonable felony, which is punishable by law.
And that the name written on Peter Obi academic certificate from the University of Nigeria Nsukka was different from the name on his NYSC certificate or the former governor and his wife's certificate. Mr. Obi claimed in his comedy press statement that, and I quote, "I will not just start by giving you my academic record. I will start by introducing myself." Now, some questions are now begging for answer as follows. Who is Peter Owubuasi Obi? The name he said it was given to him by his parents. 2. Who is Obi Gregory Owubuasi on the WAEC 1978 certificate? 3. Who is Obi Gregory Peter hyphen company name Onwubuasi on the NYC certificate? And finally, who is Gregory Peter Onwubuasi Obi on his University of Nigeria certificate? These are different four names that contradicted what he claimed in his press statement.
He also alleged threat to his life for exposing discrepancies in Peter Obi's credentials.
One, even up to this morning, not to grant this press conference by Peter Obi and Julius Aburi. Yes, they said I risked losing my life. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should note that should anything happen to me and my family, the Inspector General of Police must be put on notice that Mr. Peter Obi and Abure are to be arrested for my assassination. There is no need for any investigation, as that may be silenced anytime soon by them. I implore the IGP and the DSS to watch me closely so that I will not be killed for saying the truth.
The faction therefore urges the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party to allow the Supreme Court to adjudicate on the veracity of the issues raised in the President's Certificate saga. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The Kano State government has united 3,600 men and women in matrimony across the 44 local government areas of the state. The event, which took place at the Central Mosque in the Emir's Palace in Kano yesterday, was in fulfillment of the promise made by Governor Abba Yusuf to conduct a mass wedding for widows and divorcees when he comes to office. The marriages were completely sponsored by the state government, which spent 800 million naira. The solemnization of the wedding was led by the Chief Imam, Professor Sanit Zaharuddin. The commander of the Hizbah, Sheikh Aminu Daurawa, had announced that each of the brides were paid a dowry of 50,000 naira after undergoing several health tests and included HIV, blood group, and hepatitis. The government also bought a set of house furniture and food items to each of the couples and gave 20,000 naira to all the brides to start a micro-scale trade. Jigawa State Command of the Nigerian Immigration Service (NIS) has rescued 8 people suspected to be victims of human trafficking and 2 suspected agents in Dutse, the state's capital. Briefing newsmen on the arrest, the State Controller General of the Immigration, S.U. Agada, said those intercepted at the Dutse Motor Park were on their way to the Hadija and possible transporting to Niger Republic and then to Europe. He said the victims include 6 females and 2 males aged between 16 and 24, mostly from Benue State, while 2 were from Ebonyi and Abia State. According to him, the 2 suspected traffickers, Emeka John based in Hadija and Peter Dixon based in Benue State, were arrested and investigation is ongoing. Agada said based on the contact NIS made with some of the parents of the victims, they confirmed they were not aware of their children traveling to Jigawa State. He advised parents and the general public to support the NIS in the war against human trafficking and illegal traveling. You're watching Global TV News Express, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. We're on Channel 6, we're on StarTimes Channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When Global TV News Express returns, SON trains MSMEs on standard for homegrown economic agenda. We'll bring you details of this and other stories right after this short break. Please don't go away. Welcome back to Global Television, bringing you live broadcasts of the News Express from the nation's capital, Abuja. Burkina Faso's military leaders have signed a deal with Russia to build a nuclear power plant to increase electric supplies. It is the junta's latest move to align itself with Russia after failing out with most of its Western partners. The junta has turned to Russia for economic and military support since it seized power last year. Burkina Faso is one of the least electrified countries globally, with only 21% of people connected to power. The new deal with Russia is a culmination of talks the Burkinabé military ruler Captain Ibrahim Traoré had with Russian President Vladimir Putin in July during the Russia-African Summit in Moscow. Captain Traoré requested President Putin's support in setting up a nuclear power plant in Burkina Faso, which he said would help meet the country's energy demands and those of neighboring countries. A man of Chechen origin stabbed to death a teacher and severely wounded 2 other adults Friday at a school in northeastern France, with prosecutors opening a probe into suspect act of terror. The attack in the town of Arras comes with France, which has large Jewish and Muslim populations, on high alert for security risks following the Hamas attack on Israel last weekend. A police source says the attacker, 20, who has not been named, was from Russian, mainly Muslim Southern Caucasus region of the Chennai and was already on a French national register known as Fichier S as a potential security threat. The Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON, has destroyed fake and substandard products worth several billions of naira in Lagos. Products destroyed are engine oil, electrical cables, and substandard tires. However, speaking during the destruction of the product seized by the organization, the Director General of SON, Malam Farouk, disclosed that the organization was reviewing its acts to ensure importers of life-threatening materials are jailed and not fined. According to Salim, peddlers of these items are economic saboteurs and their activities sabotage our industries, people, and cause loans for individuals who are innocently buying these products. Similarly, the SON Organization of Nigeria, SAN, has charged micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, to up their eyes on the standards to attain the goal of the homegrown economic agenda of the federal government. The Director General of the organization, Farouk Salim, made the remark yesterday at the General Sensitization and Training of the MSMEs with the theme Product Competitiveness during Homegrown Economic via Standardization. Salim noted that competition is what drives the world today, adding that in every sphere of life, there is serious competition going on, so if one has to compete, it means one must be ready, prepared, and equipped to compete actively, effectively, and profitably. Applauding the training, Salim explained that product competitiveness requires that the particular product must have been manufactured and produced in accordance with good manufacturing practice. He appreciated efforts of MSEs towards growing their businesses and developing the economy. He emphasized that substandard products pose grave dangers not only to lives and property, but to economic development of any country. Standardization results in industrial and economic growth, global acceptability and competitiveness of locally made products, and overall national development and security, amongst others, saying these are why SON insists on standard adherence for MSMEs across the country. The Central Bank of Nigeria has lifted the ban placed on importation of restricted 43 items and now allows the importers to purchase foreign exchange in the Nigerian foreign exchange market. In a statement by the Director of Corporate Communications, Isa Abdulmumin, the bank stated that it is aimed to ensure that market forces determine exchange rates on a willing buyer and willing seller principle. The CBN spokesman said that the prevailing foreign exchange rates should be referenced from platforms such as the CBN website, FMDQ, and other recognized or appointed trading systems to promote price discovery, transparency, and credibility in the FX rates. He noted that as part of the responsibility to ensure price stability, the CBN will boost liquidity in the Nigerian foreign exchange market by interventions from time to time, adding that as market liquidity improves, these CBN interventions will gradually decrease. Meanwhile, the exchange rate between the naira and dollar has dropped to 1,040 naira in the parallel market. The ongoing trend of the demand surpassing supply seems to be the contributing factors. Forex traders report inflow quotes ranging from 1,035 naira to 1,045 naira per dollar, indicating heightened scarcity on Wednesday night. Despite this, the official trade rate remains at 766 naira 8 kobo per dollar, highlighting a notable disparity between the experiences of Nigerians in official and unofficial challenge. Ahead of the African Cup of Nations AFCON to be hosted by Cote d'Ivoire, the Ministry of Sports, Senator John Eno had said that Super Eagles are expected to emerge from Group A, which includes the host nation, Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau, to go ahead and win the trophy. The Super Eagles were denied a win as late strike from Saudi Arabia's ended Friday's international friendly in a 2-2 draw. The game saw Victor Boniface makes his first start for the Super Eagles prior to Friday's game against the Super Eagles. Saudi Arabia had lost their 6 games. This was the second time both teams will settle for a draw, with seconds remaining in the 9 minutes of the added time. Saudi profited from the free kick to draw level. Up next for the Super Eagles is another international friendly game against Mozambique on Monday, October 16, 2023. Big Brother Niger All-Star Edition winner Ilebaye Odiniya has thrown her weight behind the Nigerian Super Eagles to win the 2023 African Cup of Nations AFCON slated for Cote d'Ivoire next year, January. Coach Jose Peseiro's sides, who played a 2-2 draw with Falcons of the Saudi Arabia in the international friendly clash on Friday, have been drawn against host Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea-Bissau and Equatorial Guinea in Group A phase of the Continental Soccer Showpiece. The draw was conducted on Thursday night in Abidjan. The 22-year-old Kogi State-born actress and model in a post on her official X handle said she will personally following and cheering the Super Eagles to victory next year in Cote d'Ivoire. She urged Nigerians to rally around the national team in their quest to win the continental title for the 4th time. The African Cup of Nations is exactly 90 days from today. I'll personally be following and cheering the team to victory because I believe we have what it takes to bring home the trophy, and I hope you are supporting too, quote and unquote. For more updates on short, let's now join Sharon Ajay.
The federal government on Friday said it expects the Super Eagles to win and bring home the trophy at the African Cup of Nations in 2024. Minister of Sports Development John Eno reasoned that the athletes would be encouraged towards peak performance when they are aware of a massive home support. Consequently, President Tinubu has approved a national campaign tagged "Let's Do It Again" to mobilize resources for the Super Eagles towards a successful tournament. As we turn away from football, former Ultimate Fighting Championship UFC weight champion Kamaru Usman has been scheduled to fight Hamzat Chimaevi at UFC 294 in Abu Dhabi on October 21st, 2023. Usman will lock arms with the explosive Swedish fighter in a much-anticipated fight in the middleweight division at the Etihad Arena on Yas Island. UFC President Dana White announced the fight in a statement on Instagram on Wednesday. That was after Brazilian Paulo Costa was not medically cleared to go into the octagon after recently undergoing surgery on his elbow following an infection. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
As we end the News Express, here's a quick look at some of our top stories. NIS rescued 10 victims of human trafficking in Jigawa. SON trained MSMEs on standards for homegrown economic agenda. And we also told you BBN Niger winner Ilebaye backed Super Eagles to win the AFCON 2023. That's it on Global TV News Express, and it came to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTime channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Fauziya Lukman, thanking you so very much for watching.